So aligning with exactly who your membership is a really important place to start. Again, I can't emphasize enough that if someone on your teams or you all are sitting in a room and saying, we've got to write this welcome letter to a member, how much are we really trying to get into the shoes of that member? And so if we think about, obviously the hottest topic going on within the Medicare space or Medicaid space, is just people wondering, where am I going to land following redetermination coming out of post-pandemic? And of course, that redetermination might be happening even on a monthly basis, but we know just from a large-scale numbers perspective that there's a heightened anxiety around the state of coverage. Basically, that many people are wondering, will I continue to receive what I received through the years of the pandemic? Now, most of those renewals are already done, but we also know that a ton, 30% of these are still in redetermination. I know that Illinois is doing better, I think, than the average state out there in terms of not only communication, but also pace of sort of getting members exactly the information they need to know. This is done, and we have established that your coverage has been reinstated, or whatever that might be. But it's still important to know that these types of things might be causing anxiety. They might be causing uncertainty. There's certainly a potential for misunderstanding of information or a lack of information. And so thinking through that lens as we write everything we write to a member is an opportunity to have that positive brand experience and a little bit more engagement with whatever it is we might be asking them to do. So let's use, just for an example, and we'll talk about different ones today, but an example of what it is that might be really valuable for a Medicaid member in one of your plans to complete as an action. And so we'll maybe use access as our example today and say there is a telemedicine benefit that is available to a Medicaid member. And we're just trying to get as much participation in that telemedicine platform because we know it's going to help to close care gaps. Let's use that as our example today. And if that's not relevant for you, think about getting members to download an app, register for a portal, select a physician, whatever that action might be. But in your mind, have something that your health plan is asking members to participate in, that you all are getting lower participation than you would like. Okay, so with that in mind, we can start to use, and you'll hear me say this a few times today, but what is the behavioral science of what drives action within a particular population? And as we've looked at Medicaid and duals and worked with behavioral scientists, these are some of the tidbits that I think can be really valuable to take to those correspondence meetings where we know these pieces of collateral are being developed. And so if we know that someone has multiple chronic conditions, as I'm looking at bottom right, that's an important piece of context for that person and communicating with them. You can look across these. One we're always talking about is not just the reading level at top right of maintaining that 5th grade reading level to increase accessibility, but that's the general headspace we're in. Well, we might also use iconography, because that grade reading level might be directionally right, but you might have people that are looking at this from a foreign language that you haven't covered, and use of iconography can really connect the dots to help somebody have a better understanding of what it is that you're, one, telling them, and two, asking them to do. So this is a great one. I know the materials are going to be shared, but to just sort of review these and get your head in this space, as we're authoring things that are going to go out to members, that can be a really helpful place to start.